A pleasant day to each and every one of us, especially to you, sir, classmates. I am Roger G. Optional, ABS and Science student. And today's video, we will going to discuss a topic that I chosen. It's all about self. No, at this, we also recognize a different subtopic, which is the prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. That this topic is I chosen. So at the end of this topic, the learners or the students should be able to know about learning objectives. So we have here, define cell and its function. Then secondly, compare and contrast prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Then lastly, describe the relative size of different kinds of cell. So now, before we come up or discuss our topic this day, we will going to know or who discovered the cells, no? So, Robert Hooke, born in 28th of July in 1635 in Freshwater in United Kingdom. He discovered the cell during 1665. He is an English math polymath active as a scientist and architect who using the microscope was the first to visualize a microorganisms, no? So now here is the what is a cell? So a cell is a mass of cytoplasm bound externally in a cell membrane using microscopic in size. So no, through our sight sa ating mata, hindi natin makikita ang cell, no? Hindi siya because she is a super small structural unit of living matter and composed of all living things, no? Ang cell is para siyang napakalaking parte sa ating sarili, no, sa isang living organisms kasi siya yung bumubuhay, no. Siya yung mayroong mga part sa ating sarili na siya yung merong tulong, laking tulong niya sa yung organisms na nagfa-function lahat yung mga parts sa pangangatawan. Then most cells have one of the more nuclei rather, and other organelles that carry out a variety of tasks. So sa isang cells, ang maraming parte noon na bubuwag sa ating sarili na marami siyang mga task, yung mga niya, mga parte na maraming um, ambag sa ating sarili, no? Marami siyang mga different functions sa ating self. No. In biology aside, cell is a basic membrane bound that contains the fundamental molecule of life and which all living things are composed, no? Consider natin ang isang organism dahil meron siyang meron siyang molecule of life, no, which all living things are composed. Ang laki niyang tulong sa isang organism na nagpa-function siya, and they are contain more different tasks of specific organisms. Kaya, yung isang katawan is nagpa-function siya. Yun yung laki ng kanyang part sa isang sarili. Then next, in Wikipedia site also, cell is from the Latin word cellula, which means small room. No, is the basic structural or functional and biological unit of all own organisms. So mako-consider natin siya isa siyang small room, no? Ika nga sa Wikipedia na isa siyang small room. Yes, small room just like this ito yung sa ating kamay or hand, itong kumo na to. Mako-consider natin siya even though na maliit siya, marami siyang maambag sa ating self, no? Kasi siya yung nagbibigay functions, mga different parts sa isang katawan, no? As well as the smallest unit of life, no? So, isa siya sa pinakamaliit, pero ang sobra siyang laki ng ambag sa ating pangangatawan, no? Especially sa mga living things organism. Therefore, cells are often described as the small building blocks of life. Cell is a biology of called cellular, no? Is the best studies of cell. So yon. So now, here is the main function or the main function of the cell. So cell is they provide structure and support so sa ating self, sa isang human. So mapa-function natin to siya or ma-admit natin to sa ating self that they provide structures and support. Kasi all na mga tasks, mga organisms or parts sa ating pangangatawan, merong part yun na cells talaga ang nagdadala lahat. Then facilitate growth through mitosis. Meron siyang mga mitosis which is yung mga chromosomes na-adapt natin sa ating katawan or na natin siya kasi meron siyang cells, no? kasi papalaki yung ano niya, tumutulong siya enable to growth, no, sa isang chromosomes or isang parts ng organism sa ating katawan. Then they also allows passive and active transport. Meron ding mga passive or active, meron ding parang naglalakbay, no? They are mga organisms or mga things na cells yung lahat na gumagawa and able though to meron tayong maano sa ating sarili. Kaya nga, nakakapaglakad tayo or nakakapagsalita or ano yung magagawa natin because of the passage or active transport of the cell. Then they also produce energy. Kaya ano na ding mga ginagawa natin is we exerted energy because of the cell yun. Then create metabolic reactions and aid of reproduction. So yun, isa rin yun sa pag-reproduce and sa ating pangangatawan is meron dong ambag, ang sobrang ambag ng cell sa atin. The different characteristic of the cells provide structures and support the body of an organism. Then the cell interior is organized into different individual organelles surrounded by a separate membrane. Even though nasiseparate siya, ang isang ang isang ano, isang isang cell, even though nasi-separate siya sa isang membrane or cell division wall, naghihiwalay, pero meron talaga siyang mga specific mga parts sa ating katawan na lahat talaga siya is nagko-cooperate siya. Parang nag-unite siya or nagko-cooperate in able to adapt a task or mga ano yung maibibigay sa ating pangangatawan. Kaya nga, nagmo-move ang isang organism, no? Isang nag-move siya. There also, a mitochondria is a double membrane-bound organelles is mainly responsible for the energy transactions vital for the survival of the cell. So, ang mitochondria, sobrang laki ang ambag, no, sa isang part ng cell kasi ito yung mainly responsible, no, for the energy. Siya yung nagbibigay lakas or nagbibigay ng ano yung maibibigay niya, no, sa isang cells. Kasi para makakapag-survive yung cells, no. Kung sa atin, meron tayong mga food or merong water, mga shelter, needed natin yun kasi tayo ay makakapag-survive. Ang cell din is meron din, no? Meron din, especially yung mitochondria, is ito yung a responsible thing na para makapag-survive ang isang cell. The lysosome digests unwanted materials in the cell. Then the endoplasmic reticulum plays a significant role in the internal organisms that the synthesizing selected molecules and processing which to directing and sorting them in their appropriate location. So, ang endoplasmic reticulum din is malaki din yung bahagi niya or ginagampanan niya sa isang internal organization sa cells because siya din yung nagsaselect ng molecules and nagpa-process, no? Kung meron tayo sa ating brain, especially yung brain part, ito yung siya, malaki yung ambag ng endoplasmic reticulum. It is directing and sorting of the appropriate location. So parang nagbibigay siya ng mga yung magbibigay siya ng mga knowledge, able to process to para maano yung isang tao, no? Para or isang organism. Kasi dito sa na to is tao talaga yung nafo-focus when it comes to cell talaga, no? Then now, we have here a prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. After we discuss what is cells, so we have touched or move about prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So now, the key concept of this topic is the cell fall into the two broad categories, which is prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. The predominantly single-celled organism, the domain or bacteria, in our case, are classified as prokaryotes, no? So an organism or a bacteria or in our case, is classified siya as a eukaryotes, no? Prokaryote siya. Then, ang animal cells and plant cells or mga fungi or mga protists are eukaryotes na ma-consider natin siya. Especially yung mga animals kasi yun sila na mga eukaryotes sila. Iba sila sa prokaryotes. No, and then, we have here what is prokaryotic cell. So, a prokaryotic cell is a simple cell, single unicellular organisms that lack of nucleus or any membrane-bound organelle. So, ang prokaryotic cell is isa lang siya. Isa siyang celled organism is kulang siya ng nucleus, no? Na siya. Even though nagpa-function siya, is hindi lahat siya kasi kulang siya eh. Kung ano yung mga naibibigay niya, kung ano yung hindi siya talaga sapat when it comes to produce living organisms structural form. Then it's also will shortly come to see the significantly different eukaryotes then, no? So, yun nga. Ang isang eukaryotic cells is hindi siya matatawag na siya siyang buo or siyang unified cells talaga siya is because is kulang siya. Hindi siya nakakaano siya sa isang organisms. No? Hindi siya even though na single siya, parang may kulang yung pag ano niya, pag-cooperate ng mga organisms sa isang organism. Then we have now what is prokaryotic cells naman. So eukaryotic rather, cell is a cell that has membrane-bound nucleus and other membrane-bound compartments of cells, which is called organelles. So yun, itong eukaryotic cells is isa siyang buo. Buo siya, which in came na meron siyang maraming nucleus, no? Bound of nucleus na marami siyang mga parts, unlike sa prokaryotic cells is kulang siya, which is called ang prokaryotic is a single siya. But the eukaryotics, even though it is not a single, but it's a bound or a buo siya, no? Na meron siyang mga parts na malaki yung mga na ano niya kasi buo siya eh. Then, which means that the word is for the eukaryotic, we can say talaga na meron talagang mga special mga organisms or mga cellular functions na ibibigay which is sa isang pangangatawan or sa isang organism or living organisms na meron siya mga specific function dahil isa siya ay buo siya when it comes to cell, no? Then here is the cell size. So gaano kalaki ang cell? So at the cell, we have here is 0.5 to 5 microns or microns rather in a diameter. Prokaryotic cell are significantly smaller than eukaryotic cell. So yun, ang prokaryotic mas malaki ang eukaryotic cell kaysa prokaryotic cell, no? Which is came to our so itong illustration na to na nakikita nyo, those are the different sizes or the different types kinds of sizes when it comes to cell, no? Palaki siya until sa human sa human part. Then the components of the prokaryotic cells we have here under function. So the plasma membrane separates cells in external environment, controls passage of organic molecules, ion, water, oxygen, and waste into out of the cell. So yun ang function ng plasma membrane. Then the cytoplasm provides structures to cell, site of many metabolism reactions, medium, and organisms that form. So ang cytoplasm, malaki ang ambag niya when it comes to function sa ating pangangatawan or mga reactions, no? Then the nucleoid location of the DNA, then the nucleus cell organelle that houses DNA and direct synthesis of ribosomes and protein. Then the ribosomes is the protein of the protein synthesis. Then we have here a mitochondria, the ATF production as the cellular respiration. Then the peroxisomes, which is oxidize and break down fatty acids and amino acids and detoxifies poisons sa isang pangangatawan. Then we have here vesicles and vacuoles, storage and transport digestive functions in plant cell. So usually yung mga vesicles and vacuole is makikita natin siya sa isang plant cells. Then the centrosome, unspecified rule in the cell division in animal cells. Ang centrosome is makikita siya sa animals, which is organizing center of the microtubes in animal cells. Then ang lysosome naman, digestions of micromolecules, recycling of worn out organelles. Then you have here a cell wall, or the cell division is protection or the structural support of maintenance of the cell shape. Now, we have here also is the chloroplast. We can see the chloroplast during photosynthesis, no? Diyan makikita natin siya. Then we have here ang function ng endoplasmic reticulum is from modifies protein and synthesized lipids. We have here a Golgi apparatuses, modified, sorts, tags, and packages, and distributes lipids and proteins in our body, no? Then we have here the cytoskeleton maintains cell shape and secure organelles in a specific position. It also allows cytoplasm and vesicles to move with the cell and enable cellular organism to move independently. So the cytoskeleton, isa itong siya na nagbibigay sa ating pangangatawan in order to mamove siya, no? Then we have here the flagella, the cellular locomotion. Then the last is the cilia, the cellular locomotion, movement of the particles along extracellular surface of plasma and membrane and filtration. So for our topic is the summary is all living organisms are made of cells. Yes, that's true. And always do believe that, no? Yung mga organisms na makikita natin sa isang ano kasi meron talagang mga organism. Cells are very small, therefore magnifying instruments such as lenses and microscope are used to be viewed them. Yes, totoo. So hindi natin siya makita through our visual eyes, hindi natin siya mahawakan, but you can see it through a microscopic instrument. No? By using light microscope, the simple feature of the cells can be studied. A light microscope, no? Microscope na maano siya, may microscope na merong talagang maano siya sa ating isang cell, no? Makikita natin siya through glass lenses talaga. Hindi natin siya makita through our eyes. Then, we have the electron microscope have higher power of the magnification than the ordinary light's microscope. Then therefore allowing to see very small structures inside the cell. Then this microscope use beam of electrons focus by electromagnetics and magnifying object instead of light rays and lenses. So now, Robert Hooke in 1665 used light microscope to examine non-living croc cells. Then Antoine van Leeuwenhoek was the first person to observe living cells using the microscope. Then the development of cell theory was the study of the microscope cell. So these are the different references that I can search, that I can found my report. Then thank you so much for watching, and we hope you learn a lot of those that I discussed on this video. So thank you so much, and bye to all, and have a nice day.